Shukrana to Guruji Maharaj for giving us this opportunity to read and listen to Shivpuran. Here is the synopsis from last week. Last week we read chapter 1 of Rudra Samhita section 4. In that we read that after Shiva married Parvati, he took Parvati to Kailasa, and from there he took her to a delightful isolated place and thought of the fulfillment of the task of gods. As Shiva and Parvati engaged in sexual dalliance, about 1,000 years of gods elapsed. Indra and other gods gathered on mountain Meru and discussed. They made Brahma their lead and approached Vishnu and told him everything. Vishnu told Brahma not to worry about anything and just return to his abode. Hearing that, all gods returned to their abodes. On the account of dalliance of Shiva and Parvati, the earth quaked and cosmic air stunned. The three worlds became agitated and terrified. Then Brahma and other gods sought refuge in Vishnu and informed him about their distress. Hearing them, Vishnu immediately took all of them to Kailasa and requested the Ganas to tell them about the whereabouts of Lord Shiva. The Ganas told them that Shiva had gone into an isolated place with Parvati and had stationed Ganas there. Then Vishnu and other gods went to the doorway of Shiva's apartment. They all eulogized Shiva, and Vishnu spoke with dejection. He wept and asked Shiva to save them from the harassment of Taraka. This was where we read till last week. Today we would be commencing only English Shivpuran, and that would be done by Urvashi Auntie, and she's going to read 2 chapters. The first chapter is the second one, which is the birth of Shivas Son, and the chapter 3, which is the boyhood sports of Kartikeya. Jai Guruji, Shukrana Maharaj.
Jai Guruji, Anantam Shukrana for granting me this seva. Chapter 2, The Birth of Shiva's Son. Brahma said, on hearing that the great Lord, an expert in yogic theory, though free from lust, did not emit the semen fearing to offend Parvati, he came to the door near the gods distressed by the demon. Shiva is the benefactor favorably disposed to his devotees. On seeing Lord Shiva favorably disposed to his devotees, the gods, including me and Vishnu, became extremely happy. O sage, bowing down with stooping shoulders, the gods, along with me and Vishnu, eulogized Shiva with great pleasure. The gods said, O great Lord, O Lord of gods, O ocean of mercy, O Shiva, you are the eminent soul of all. You know everything. O Lord, carry out the task of the gods. O great Lord, save the gods. Slay Tarka and other demons and take pity on us. On hearing these words of the gods, Lord Shiva, agitated in soul and dispirited in the mind, replied. Shiva said, O Vishnu, O Brahma, O gods, you are the goal of everybody's mind. What should happen necessarily must happen. There is none to stop it. What has happened has already happened. Now, O gods, listen to what is relevant to the context. Let him who will take up this discharged semen. After saying this, he let it fall on the ground. Urged by the gods, Agni became a dove and swallowed it with his beak. O sage, in the meantime, Parvati came there. When Shiva took a long time to return, she hastened there and saw the gods. On coming to know of the incident, she became very furious. She told Vishnu and the gods as follows. The goddess said, O gods, you are wicked and particularly selfish, and for that purpose you give pain to others. O gods, for the sake of realizing your self-interest, you all propitiated the Lord and spoilt my dalliance. I have become a barren woman, therefore. O gods, after offending me, none can be happy. Hence, O wicked heaven dwellers, you will remain unhappy. Brahma said, after saying these words, Parvati, the daughter of the king of mountains, blazing with fury, cursed Vishnu and all other gods. Parvati said, from now onwards, let the wives of the gods be utterly barren, and let the gods who offended me be unhappy. Brahma said, cursing Vishnu and other gods, Parvati furiously told Agni, who had swallowed Shiva's semen. Parvati said, O Agni, be the devourer of everything and let your soul be afflicted. You are a fool. You do not know Shiva's fundamental principles. You have come forward to carry out the task of the gods. It is neither proper nor beneficent to you to have eaten up Shiva's semen. You are a rogue, a wretched vile, paying heed to the wicked counsel of the wicked. Brahma said, after cursing the fire thus, O sage, Parvati, the daughter of the mountain, immediately returned to her apartment along with Shiva, dissatisfied that she was. O great sage, after returning, she persistently pleaded with Shiva and bore a son named Ganesha. O sage, the details of that story I shall narrate to you later on. Now listen to the story of the birth of Guha, which I am going to narrate. The gods are wont to partake of the offerings of the food, etc., consigned to the fire in accordance with the Vedic text. Hence the gods became pregnant. Unable to endure the force of the semen, they became afflicted. Vishnu and other gods had already lost their sense at the curse of Parvati. Then Vishnu and other gods were overwhelmed. Then Vishnu and other gods were overwhelmed and scorched. In this state, they sought refuge in Shiva. After reaching the threshold of Shiva's apartment, the gods humbly eulogized Parvati and Shiva with pleasure and with palms joined in reverence. The gods said, O Lord of gods, O great Lord, consort of Parvati, what has happened now? Your magical power is incapable of being transgressed. We have become pregnant and also scorched by your semen. O Shiva, take pity on us. Remove our miserable plight. Brahma said, O sage, on hearing the eulogy of the gods, Shiva, the lord of Parvati, came immediately to the threshold where the gods stood waiting. The gods, including Vishnu, bowed humbly with great devotion and eulogized Shiva, who is favorably disposed to his devotees, who came near the entrance. The gods said, O Shiva, O great Lord, we bow to you particularly. Save us seeking refuge in you on being scorched by your semen. O Shiva, please remove our misery. We will certainly die otherwise. Save you, none can remove the misery of the gods. Brahma said, on hearing these piteous words, the Lord of the gods laughingly replied to the gods with his usual sympathy towards his devotees. Shiva said, O Vishnu, O Brahma, O gods, all of you listen to my words with attention. You will be happy. Be careful. At my behest you shall vomit the semen virile of mine. You will be happy thereby. Brahma said, accepting this command with bent head, Vishnu and other gods immediately vomited it out after duly remembering Shiva, the imperishable. The semen of Shiva, lustrous and golden in color, falling on the ground, seemed to touch the heaven as it was huge as a mountain. Vishnu and other gods became relieved, and they eulogized the great Lord Shiva, who is favorably disposed to his devotees. O great sage, only Agni did not become happy. Shiva, the great Lord, gave a separate hint to him. Then the distressed fire, O sage, eulogized Shiva with palms joined in reverence and piteously spoke these words. Agni said, O Lord of gods, I am a stupid and deluded servant of yours. Forgive me my fault. Please remove my burning sensation. O Lord, you are the benefactor and sympathetic to the distressed. Brahma said, on hearing the words of Agni, Shiva, the great Lord, spoke delightedly to Agni. He is favorably disposed to his devotees. Shiva said, an improper action has been committed by you in swallowing my semen. Hence your sin has become formidable at my bidding, and the burning sensation has not been cured. Now that you have sought refuge in me, you are sure to be happy. I am pleased with you. All your misery will be dissolved. Deposit carefully that semen in the womb of some good woman. You will become happy and particularly relieved of the burning sensation. Brahma said, on hearing these words of Shiva, Agni replied to Shiva, the benefactor of the devotees, with pleasure, and bowing down with palms joined in reverence. O Lord Shiva, this splendor of yours is inaccessible and unbearable. There is no woman in the three worlds except Parvati to hold it in her womb. O excellent sage, when fire said like this, you, urged by Shiva, said thus in order to help Agni. Narada said, O Agni, listen to my words that will dispel your burning sensation. It will yield great pleasure and ward off your pains. O Agni, taking recourse to the following expedient, you will be relieved of the burning sensation and be happy. O dear, This has been explained by me well at the will of Shiva. O Agni, you shall deposit the semen of Shiva in the bodies of the ladies who take their morning baths in the month of Magha. Brahma said, O sage, meanwhile the wives of the 7 celestial sages came there, desirous of taking their early morning bath in the month of Magha with other observances of rites. After the bath, 6 of them were distressed by the chillness and were desirous of going near the flame of fire. Arundhati, of good conduct and perfect knowledge, saw them deluded and dissuaded them at the behest of Shiva. O sage, the 6 ladies stubbornly insisted on going there to ward off their chillness because they were deluded by Shiva's magical art. Immediately, the particles of the semen entered their bodies through the pores of hairs. O sage, the fire was relieved of their burning sensation. Vanishing immediately from the scene, Agni, in the form of a flame, went back happily to his region, mentally remembering you and Shiva. O saintly one, the women became pregnant and were distressed by the burning sensation. They went home. Oh dear, Arundhati was displeased with fire. Oh dear, the husbands, on seeing the plight of their wives, became furious. They consulted one another and discarded them. Oh dear, on seeing their own state, the 6 ladies felt very miserable and distressed. The wives of the sages cast off their semen in the form of a fetus at the top of Himavat. They felt then relieved of their burning sensation. Unable to bear that semen of Shiva and trembling much, Himavat became scorched by it and hurled it in the Ganga. O great sage, the intolerable semen of Lord Shiva was deposited by Ganga in the forest of Sara grass by means of its waves. The semen that fell was turned in a handsome, good-featured boy, full of glory and splendor. He increased everyone's pleasure. O great sage, on the 6th day of the bright half of the lunar month of Margarisa, the son of Shiva was born in the world. At that time, O Brahmin, on their mountain, Parvati, the daughter of Himavat, and Shiva became very happy. Out of joy, milk exuded from the breasts of Parvati. On reaching the spot, everyone felt very happy. Oh dear, there was auspiciousness in the 3 worlds, pleasing to the good. There occurred obstacles to the wicked and particularly to the demons. O Narada, there was a mysterious sound of Dundhubi drum in the sky. Showers of flowers fell on the boy. O excellent sage, there was great delight to Vishnu and the gods. There was great jubilation everywhere. Chapter 3, The Boyhood Sports of Kartikeya. Narada said, O Lord of subjects, O Brahmin, O Creator, what happened thereafter? Please tell me the same. Brahma said, O dear, then the powerful sage Vishwa Mitra, urged by Brahma, came there casually and was delighted. On seeing the unearthly splendor of that brilliant boy, he became very delighted. He bowed to the boy. With a delighted mind, he eulogized him with the words prompted by Brahma. Vishwamitra realized his power. The boy too was delighted and became the source of great enjoyment. Laughingly, he spoke to Vishwamitra. It was very surprising. Shiva's son said, O great one of perfect wisdom, it is due to the will of Shiva that you have come here by chance. O dear, perform my purificatory rites in accordance with Vedic injunctions. From now onwards, you remain my priest, conferring your love on me. It is certain that you will become the object of worship of all. Brahma said. On hearing his words, Gadi's son Vishwamitra was highly delighted and surprised. He spoke to him in a tone by no means highly accented. Vishwamitra said, Listen, O dear, I am not a Brahmin, I am a Kshatriya, son of Gadi, famous as Vishwamitra and a servant of Brahmins. O excellent boy, I have thus narrated my life to you. Who are you? Now mention everything about your life to me, who am surprised. Brahma said. On hearing his words, the boy told him about his life. The divine boy, the cause of great enjoyment and perfection, said to Gadi's son with great pleasure. Shiva's son said, O Vishwamitra, thanks to my favor, you now become a Brahmanical sage. Vasishtha and others will forever regard you with respect. Hence, at my behest, you shall perform my purificatory rites. Keep this as a great secret. You shall not mention it anywhere. Brahma said, O celestial sage, in the manner laid down in the Vedas, he performed the purificatory rites for the son of Shiva. Shiva's son, the cause of great enjoyment and protection, was glad and conferred divine wisdom on the sage. The son of Agni made Vishwa Mitra his priest. From the time onwards, he became a great Brahmin and an expert in divine sports of various sorts. O sage, the very first sport that he performed thus has been narrated to you by me. O dear, listen to another sport of his with wonder. I shall narrate it to you. At that time he was known as white in color. Agni went there and seeing his son who was divine and very holy, called him, O dear son. Agni embraced and kissed him too. He gave him a miraculous weapon, spear. Guha took the spear and ascended the peak. He hit the peak with his spear and the peak fell down. 10,000 billions of heroic demons came there to attack him, but were killed on being hit by the spear. There was great hue and cry. The earth, the mountains, and the three worlds quaked. And Indra, the lord of gods, came there. With his thunderbolt he hit on his right side. A person named Shaka of great strength came out of that side. Shakra struck him again with his thunderbolt on his left side. Another strong person named Vishaka came out of that side. Then Indra struck his heart with his thunderbolt. Another person very powerful like him named Naigama came out. Then the four of great heroic strength, including Skanda, rushed to attack Indra. I offered my protection to Indra. Afraid of Guha, Indra with all the gods went away to his region agitatedly. O sage, he did not know his secret. That boy remained there itself as fearless as before. Oh dear, he was highly pleased and continued his divine sports of various sorts. Meanwhile, the 6 ladies named Kritikas came there for bath and they saw the lordly boy. All of them desired to take and fondle him. O sage, as a result of their simultaneous desire for taking and fondling the boy, a dispute arose. In order to quell their mutual dispute, the boy assumed 6 faces and drank milk of their breasts. O sage, they were all satisfied. Realizing his desire, the Kritikas, O sage, took him to the region joyously. Feeding him with their breast milk, they nursed and nurtured Shiva's son, who was more refulgent than the sun. They never let him go out of their sight. He became the object of their love, dearer to them than their own lives. Verily, he who nurses and nurtures the child has the right of possession over the son. With great love, they gave him the rarest garments and excellent ornaments in the 3 worlds. Feeding him specially on the choicest delicacies day by day, they brought up the boy prodigy. Oh dear, once that son of Kritikas went to the celestial assembly and showed wonderful feats. The boy of the wonderful miracles showed his rare splendor to the gods, including Vishnu. On seeing him, the gods and sages, including Vishnu, became surprised and asked the boy, Pray, who are you? On hearing it, he did not say anything in reply. He returned to his abode and remained concealed as before. This concludes chapter 3 and today's reading. Thank you. Jai Guruji. Shukrana.